Hello once again, you melty-faced wax statues of people. Hope you're all keeping nice and cool in the blisteringly hot weather we're currently having here in South Africa. If you're not in South Africa and you're somewhere else, suck it, losers. If you are over here, don't tell the other people in other countries that we're suffering. Make it look good. Okay, we're loving it. It's great. We were all at the beach all day. No one does any work here. It's fantastic. Welcome back once again to the podcast. It's a small lineup this week due to my own inefficiency when it comes to scheduling the people from Geeknode. I just automatically assume everyone will become available as soon as I ask them to. So today it is just myself and Meneer Bester, the NiteFenix himself, editor-in-chief and head honcho. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Just like you say, just been coming off this massive heat wave that we've been experiencing.
Is it as bad up there as it has been down here? Because it was like 38 on Sunday and I nearly died.
Not at the moment, to be quite honest with you. It's been quite rainy lately. Today, it just, the gods just spat a few times, so it wasn't as hectic, but... I must say it's been a bit cooler and a little bit more manageable. I've actually been able to drive to work on my motorcycle without a jacket on for a change, which is
without melting.
Without melting and
nice.
And not burning to death in the process. So yeah, so I've been enjoying the weather.
Well, tell when you speak to whichever god it was that was spitting on you lot up in Joburg, which I have to add, I can't really blame him. If I was going to spit on something, it would definitely be Joburg as well. Tell him if he's got an extra bit of spittle in his mouth, send it down to Cape Town, because we're still wilting like a bunch of daisies left out in the sun. It's not good.
And the mountain is not casting enough shadow, I suppose.
It isn't. It needs to get bigger. Okay, so we worship this thing, and it does nothing for us apart from bring tourists, which raise the prices of drinks.
Yeah,
but bullshit.
At least you've got filled potholes and working electricity.
That is true. That is true. We do have, well, majority of the time we have working electricity, more often than you guys. So yeah, as much as we think it's been bad down here, I know you guys have suffered far more of the brunt of it up that side. Quickly, before we go into anything else, I do want to say a couple of things. Just want to say out there to anyone all the listeners, please get involved and comment on the videos. If you've got something to say, if you've got a question, even if it's a topic that you'd like to have discussed, or you're interested in hearing my completely shambolic thoughts on, please do let us know. We are always looking to reach out and touch someone in a figurative sense, since the police told me to stop doing it physically. So yeah, please do comment. That's it. That's the admin done.
Yeah. And while we're on the subject of our listeners and readers out there, I just want to make it known that within the next couple of weeks, we're going to be opening up applications for people who would like to have their 15 minutes of fame on the Geeknode podcast. So if anybody out there would like to join us, unfortunately we've only got space for two of you waxy-faced Nodians. Pop us a comment at the bottom of the article, which this podcast will inevitably be entered into, or alternately you can just engage us on Twitter or Facebook. We do pay attention, we do read your comments and everything, so yeah, get involved, comment.
There we go. Excellent. It'll be good. It'll be good to sit and have a chat and to get other people's views who, have absolutely no... I mean, we've all got some mental issues at Geeknode, some of us more than others. So it'd be nice to have some normal people to tell us what they think about stuff and point out why we're wrong and mad. Cool.
It's
right.
Very, very hard to do that.
Fair enough. So yeah, anyway, so it's a new year. I did my article for my top 20 games that are coming out in 2016. There's some monster games coming out. Like last year we were spoiled. This year is looking huge. So much goodness. But not everyone agrees with me.
Yeah, no, I've noticed some comments flying your way on Twitter. It was not easy to watch.
No, well, no, absolutely. Well, Phil's got his place, and I completely understand where he comes from. He's mostly opposed to the fact that there are so many Ubisoft games in there. As I did write in the article, this is all dependent on them not falling into the Ubisoft trap of being just an absolute shambles at launch. I mean, look, they've got some incredible IPs.
Yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed really fell off the wagon for me in the last couple of years. But
what are you talking about? Unity was an amazing game and it didn't suffer from any issues at launch. And
but listen,
28 frames per second is more cinematic, I'll have you know.
I'm going to have to contradict you there. I didn't have any issues with Unity. I didn't review it. If I did review it at the time, I would have probably ripped it to pieces. But for the first time that year, I wasn't in any journalistic capacity, so I could actually enjoy a game thoroughly without any hang-ups or anything like that. And I must say, despite everything that was flying around in the media at the time, I actually enjoyed the game. You know, it had its shortcomings. I wasn't overly impressed with the co-op that they introduced in the title, but it certainly had room for improvement. And the story was quite strong in the way that it executed itself. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm actually going to say that, and people are probably going to hate me for this, I actually enjoyed Unity. And with the release of Syndicate at close to the end of last year, they actually went back to top form with their new release. Yeah,
I've heard that Syndicate was good. Unity for me was just a joke. I mean, it was awful. I was getting frame dips to 5 frames per second. I mean, my PC is a monster.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's all top of the range stuff. And as I was playing, I was just bang 5 frames a second. I mean, you can barely play Pong at that kind of frames. The other things that killed me were just stupid little things, like I'm running around in France and everyone I spoke to who wasn't part of a cutscene had an English accent.
It must have made you sound oddly at home.
It pissed me off so much. I'm like, I'm expecting this guy to be like, what is this, monsieur? You cannot be coming in here with your rubbish. The guy's like, hey, geezer, what are you doing, mate? You can't come in here, oi! And I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be in Paris.
Yeah, it kind of detracts you from the feeling that you are in Paris. I totally agree with you there. Yes, you kind of require immersion in a game like that because it's a historical retelling of sorts, and you kind of want to feel like you're there, and you kind of get dropped out of immersion every time you hear some guy speaking to you in a Cockney accent. It's a bit distracting.
It doesn't work. I'll tell you what. Here's a pointer for it. What was the protagonist's name?
Oh no!
Damn you! I'd forgotten it. I kind of assumed you would have as well. I can't remember anything about him. He was that instantly forgettable.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people who didn't like Ezio di Auditore. But
I
didn't like him, but the Firenze di Auditore.
Yes.
I didn't like him, but I never forgot him. And I hated Desmond. Like, I actually bought Assassin's Creed 3 purely
to see him
die.
And while we're on the topic of spoiling endings for Assassin's Creed, I actually just recently finished Rogue, and for those of you who hasn't finished it yet, shame on you.
Hurry up! What you doing?
Yeah, just freaking skip past this part in the podcast. You can skip 2 minutes into the future.
A couple of minutes.
But yeah, essentially, I don't know if you know this, Pikey, but the end of Rogue actually ties in directly with Unity.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically,
well, I suppose, it's all supposed to have an overarching storyline following it's supposed to, in ways, tie into each other over these vast differences in time.
This is literally a direct tie-in. Listen to this. Cormac, the character that you play as in Rogue.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember at the beginning of Unity, where little Arno is there in the palace with his dad, and he goes away with Elise. They do all sorts of fucked up shit, and then he gets back and he finds his dad clutching at his chest, and he's busy dying.
Oh, was that Oh,
That was Cormac
Dum,
that
dum,
fucking
dum.
killed him.
oh, nice.
That
That's
that to
interesting.
me was one of the biggest what the fuck moments in Assassin's Creed history. And because people kind of have this notion that Rogue is 2.5, or rather Assassin's Creed 4.5, that you shouldn't really worry about it because it's not really that much of a tie-in into the series. Right, that right there is a major tie-in,
Yeah,
and it's quite
absolutely.
cool because both Rogue and Unity was released pretty much within months of each other. It was the 2014, I think, releases of the Assassin's Creed series. So you could really see that the Ubisoft team, they actually put a lot of thought into both those titles and made them work in the context of the canon. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, that is interesting. Now, see, I didn't pick that one up. So after Unity, I swore off Assassin's Creed for a while. I just said, you know what, they need to until I hear positive things, which I'm starting, which people have been saying about Syndicate, that it was actually a solid game and it
Yes.
plays well and it's fun and the story's engaging and the characters are strong. So I'm thinking I might pick it up.
Yeah. Do yourself
But
a
I'll still
favor.
pick it up on sale. I'll wait
Yeah.
for it to be on sale. I'm not going to buy it now.
Do yourself a favor. I saw Uber Utang. He was talking today, in his very sarcastic shit manner. He was talking about how PC games are so expensive. But
Oh, yeah, of
yeah,
course.
I don't know if you saw that, but he
I did.
actually,
I
I
did see
think,
that, yeah.
I think he picked up Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Some bloke on one of these forums in South Africa, I won't mention any names, they actually got rid of their Nvidia bundled copy of Assassin's Creed, and I think
Mm,
Yanrick picked it up for like 350, which is a steal.
yeah.
And that's the sort of deals that you actually need to be looking out for, especially with the failing rand dollar exchange rate that we're facing at the moment.
I'll wait till the next Steam Summer Sale, man. I'll pick it up then for
Uh,
you watch. I'll pick it up for like $5.
I actually have a problem with the way that Valve has restructured the Steam sales.
Oh,
Uh,
see, no, I haven't actually been on. I haven't been at home the last couple of days in the evening, and I haven't had a look at what's been going on with this winter sale for the rest of the
yeah,
world. What's going on?
well, do you remember the old system whereby every 6 hours they would rotate the games and then
Yeah,
that's gone? They've completely and utterly stripped all of that sort of functionality out of the
I
Steam
like
sales.
that.
Yeah, and basically you have flat sales rates from the beginning of the sale right up until the end. Now it's got
That's
its
so
pros and
dull.
cons. Yeah, it's got its
Yeah, I
pros and
suppose. Yeah,
cons.
yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd be pissed off if I got home like 15 minutes after a sale had just ended on the game I really
Yeah,
wanted.
yeah. But then again, the other con that you've got to take into consideration is your smaller studios. They don't really have the opportunity to shine. So, say for example,
Yeah,
they
they
want
get
to,
lost.
yeah, they want to promote their game, and the perfect platform for that was the 6 hour rotations, and that's now
Absolutely.
gone. So Steam has actually kind of shafted their developers in that way.
Yeah, I picked up a couple of gems in those, man. I used to love it. Like it was, I don't know,
I mean,
it was the equivalent of like going sale shopping kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd walk, you go in for there's your 6 hours, you go check it out, and then like, oh, new stock. Oh,
I
let's go
know,
check it out. Like,
yeah, Pixie actually picked up the Skyrim Legendary Edition for me. Was actually one of the first Steam sales that I actually actively participated in. It was about 2 years ago. We managed to pick it up, and at that stage it was about 2 or 3 years old. We picked it up, believe it or not, for 60 Rand for the Legendary Edition. Okay,
that's good.
obviously that's going to probably be a hell of a lot cheaper now, being
Well,
7
yeah, but I
years
mean, when you
later,
think about
but
it, a 2-year-old game for 60 rand, and especially a game of the depth and longevity of Skyrim. I know people who play Skyrim to this day.
yes. And I
I mean,
mean,
I think I've played it through about 6 or 7 times.
not even, and people are again going to stone me for this probably, but not even Fallout 4 has the staying power of Skyrim. At
See,
least,
I can't. I'm not going to stone you because I have to admit something.
mm,
I've lost interest.
exactly.
Like
It's
I love. I'm a Fallout fucking nut. I've got a Pip-Boy on
that,
my right in front of me. I've got a jar of bottle caps. I have a lunchbox
Yeah, exactly.
Not for actually carrying lunch, but why it's just not engaging me. Once I got past the what was it, the Silver Shroud and the Nick Valentine missions, I was like, I don't really care about the main story, the main plot.
Yeah, I think the only thing at this stage that would really get me back into the game is if they brought out really, really, really good DLC. And look,
they have over the years. They always have.
But Bethesda is well known for creating solid DLCs, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, you've also got to remember that the game development has changed, and it's very clearly evident in the way that they put together Fallout 4. I think the direction that they were going with the whole base building thing, they probably did a little bit of market research, and they saw, people love simulators. People love shit like The Sims. They love shit like Elite Dangerous. They kind of like the idea of hoarding and building something, and that to me isn't Fallout. Fallout.
No, I enjoyed it though. I have to be honest, I did enjoy it. Look, I enjoyed that part, like building up my base and turning up the defenses, and then getting some super mutants to charge the front gate and watch them get absolutely annihilated was hilarious to me.
Yeah, but that's a novelty. It isn't really. It doesn't really form any solid basis in the Fallout universe, at least to me. I mean, sure, it's a very fun little side activity, but they put too much focus on it, in my opinion. They should have just been like, do something very basic, create a base, let the people come in and do their own thing. Don't worry about actually getting involved with assigning people with
that
things
pissed
to
me
do.
off a bit, yeah. I got tired of doing that. I was like, just go to the base and fucking just get a job. You're not getting a free ride here. Just go and do something.
Yeah, and I mean, at least let unique characters come in. They sort of touched on that at the castle. Remember when that other Minutemen bitch came in? What's her name again?
Yeah, I know who you mean. The one who opened it up and you got
the armory.
Into the armory.
They should have actually done more of that with the different bases. I mean, like Vanna was talking about today on the Geeknode Skype group. You mentioned that there's ghouls inside that one lighthouse.
I was talking to him about that, because he found someone that he thinks could be Kevin Costner from the movie The Postman, which received terrible reviews, and I don't know why. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. It was fucking bizarre. I actually enjoyed it myself. Yeah, it's like, hey, we're gonna make a movie. What about a post-apocalyptic postman? Okay, do it.
Well,
but it was actually I enjoyed it. But I also enjoyed Waterworld. So screw everyone and screw what the critics said. So anyway, Werner found a postman dead in a police station by the lighthouse, and then I remember the conversation now. It's all coming back.
Yeah. But so the idea is just, I love the idea of Easter eggs, but I also like the idea of actual freaking quests related to side activities, and the previous Bethesda games did that quite well, and I actually felt that Fallout 4 lacked that in some way. Sure.
Well, Fallout 3, I gave a shit about finding my dad. In this one, I've got to be honest, I don't give a fuck about the son. Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, especially as a father, I would have thought that I'd be more like kind of, oh no, I can't let this happen. But I'm like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm gonna go find me a Fat Boy launcher. Get out of here.
Yeah, and I mean that whole revelation at the end. I don't know if it's too soon to drop spoilers on Fallout 4, but I kind of saw that coming, like right from the get-go. I mean, you see them taking his son from the cryo vault, Vault 111 for you guys that hasn't played the game yet, and then you see Kellogg's memories, in which he actually looks quite a bit younger than when you kill him. So it stands to reason that quite a few years has passed. Yeah. And yes, I think they did mention that they preserved his youth in some technological way or something. I can't remember. Oh yes, it was because of his cybernetic implants and stuff. Yeah. And then then it did not come as a shock to me at all when you arrive at the institution and lo and behold, here's your son in front of you, and he's like fucking 80 years old.
Yeah.
And he's dying, as if that's supposed to make you feel sorry for the fucking guy.
It's like, man, you were a baby. I don't even know you, dude.
Exactly. His entire life is over, and the last time you saw him was when he was a baby. So you don't have any opportunity to get to know him at all. And I haven't really aligned myself with the institution, so I don't know what happens if you actually align yourself with them and how your relationship develops with your son. But I'm probably guessing it's probably going to be along the same lines as the Brotherhood of Steel, which is the ending that I chose, or even the Railroad, which pretty much just involves violence. So you fucking run in and you kill every last fucking enemy in sight, and then what does that accomplish? I mean, there's no real substance in terms of an ending to this game, because
do you know about Atlas Prime?
Atlas Prime?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the big robot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I did the Brotherhood of Steel quest.
Oh, so you did unleash him?
Yes, I did.
Nice. Okay, so cool. All right, just checking, because that's always for me since the first time you saw him in Fallout 3.
Yes. That was actually pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. No,
they brought him back there, but there's a hell of a lot of lore that is actually made it across from Fallout 3 into Fallout 4. I don't know if you know this, but Elder Maxim was in Fallout 3.
Yes, I was reading a whole thing about that now.
Yeah, he was one of the squires in that Brotherhood of Steel base in one of the DLCs, and they have some sort of fusion core that is like bigger than a usual fusion core, and that's actually that fusion core comes from Fallout 3, and that was running the base. Now, Elder Maxon brought that fusion core with him from that base, and that's what powers the Pridwin. Believe it or not. So there's a hell of a lot of lore that is...
There is a lot going on.
Yeah,
well, but it's a massive universe. There's been so many interesting things. I mean, if you think back, there was expeditions that went east, I think all the way back in Fallout 2, and they went east or west, and I can't remember which, but then they lost contact, and then... I'm trying to think, that was from the Brotherhood of Steel, and then I think you ran into them later on in the little game, what was it called? Fallout Tactics? I think it was Fallout Tactics.
Yes.
And you ran into that group then. Like I like that they have that,
yeah,
that thing. It's like running into Marcus in Fallout 3? Was it Fallout 3 you ran into? Yeah, it was Fallout... Hang on. Yes, it was Fallout 3 you ran into Marcus, the super mutant who you befriended in 1.
Yes. Now, the thing is, I can't remember who the developers were of the original isometric Fallout. Interplay, yes. Now, they focused entirely, I think it was on the east coast of the United States. And ever since Bethesda and ZeniMax took over development, they've shifted the focus of the entire thing to the west side. And because they don't particularly want to focus on stuff that's already been, covered. So
fair enough.
If they do, and I actually read something a couple of years ago that Fallout 4 would be their last game, before the rights revert back to the original owners. But if they do another game, then it's likely going to be set in New York.
It'll be interesting, because Interplay aren't around anymore, so I don't know who it would go to.
Whoever bought out the
that's what I'm trying to think of. I don't know who it was.
It'll probably.
Oh, okay. Well, it'd be an interesting thing to keep it'd be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. As long as it's not fucking Ubisoft, we'll be all right. But yeah, it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. And see if that does come to play. If there's a new studio taking over from Bethesda, because I've got to be honest, I think they did an amazing job with changing it from isometric top-down to a first-person RPG. Did an incredible job with it. It was just amazing.
Just one final thing before we move on to the next topic. Don't know if you saw, but someone actually, I think it was in the PC version of Fallout 4, they actually used the console to rotate the camera to show you what Fallout 4 would actually look like had they gone the isometric route. I must actually, I'll try and find that, and then we can link it into the article. But
that
it
would
actually
be interesting.
looked pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know,
I do love a good isometric game. So actually, having said that, if you do love isometric style games such as the original Fallouts and maybe even played Wasteland back in the day, if you haven't picked up Wasteland 2 yet, you've done yourself a disservice. That's another great isometric game.
Yeah, yeah.
Also post-apocalyptic. I don't know if you've played it.
No.
Very, very nicely put together.
Yeah. Isn't Stasis also isometric?
Yeah.
Obviously that is on sale at Gamersgate at the moment at 40% off. It usually goes for like 430 rand. It's now 252. So because they are a South African studio, the guys that made Stasis, I would highly recommend supporting them. We really do
South African developers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We completely and utterly support the indie community. Support South African, not just Stasis. If you see any South African developed games, pick them up. Broforce, Toxic Bunny.
Broforce was great. Broforce was amazing. I still have fun with that, man. Yeah,
Pixie and I are actually busy playing through Broforce at the moment. Although she in the sequences before you start a mission, you're flying around in a helicopter, and she just flies around and takes out all the seagulls, and that's more fun for her than the actual game.
Fair enough. I don't really blame her because they are disgusting flying rats who'll steal your chips at the beach, and I'll never ever like them. Although I suppose they don't really seem to do that much over here.
Yeah.
In England, they're aggressive little shits. They will literally land on your table while you're eating and grab a chip, or take an ice cream cone out of your hand.
Kind of like our, the common miners, or as they're more commonly known, Indian miners.
Those the black ones with the orange bill.
Yeah,
I'm not so great at the ornithology.
Yeah, I kind of work for a company that deals with invasive birds and animals and plants and whatever. So it's kind of part of my everyday life. So yeah.
So Indian minor birds are dicks. You heard it here first.
Yeah, and worst of all, just like parrots, they can talk. They're not.
Oh yes, okay. That I did know about minor birds. Yes.
Yeah, but before we get too much into ornithology, let's move on.
Yeah, that would be a bit weird. It'd be a bit of a strange one.
A geek podcast talking about birds.
Absolutely. Well, no. Hey, to be honest, I do like I do like birds. I mean, they're you get some beautiful ones, especially over here. I fucking hate that game so much. I hate that game so much because I've played so many awesome launching pew pew kind of games, like God, there were so many flash ones, like Stickmen, where you'd launch the Stickmen and you had to land them onto, you have to get them through these traps and get them to land on a platform, all this kind of stuff. And Angry Birds was just respect them for what they did, but it just kind of irritated me. I was like, screw you guys, man.
Yeah,
I like the originals better.
Not even the Angry Birds Star Wars thing vindicated it for me.
Hells no.
That was horrible. But moving...
More about isometric games.
Yeah, XCOM 2.
Baby, yes.
Yeah, and that is actually releasing on my birthday, which is on the 5th of Feb. I have to be honest with you, sir. I am not an XCOM fan. I've played it, and I don't know. It's just something about turn-based strategy type games. It's a little bit of a turn off for me.
Which one did you play?
I played.
The Enemy Unknown or one of the earlier ones?
I played Enemy Unknown. I've never played the earlier ones.
You heathen!
I know. I'll take that.
Yeah. Okay. The only one you can be excused for not liking the one that was set in the 50s, whose name I've actually forced myself to completely forget. Yeah, could have been. Because they tried to take it in a slightly different direction and it just didn't work.
Is that the one that was recently released?
Yeah, it was more recent than Enemy Unknown, but it was set as a prequel.
Yeah, I had it on my radar for a while, but when I saw it's very similar to the other XCOM games, I kind of veered away from it.
Well, if you didn't like XCOM, you might like that one more, because it's less of the whole turn-based thing. It's kind of a... it's faster paced in the combat and that kind of thing. See, I love a bit of turn-based strategy. That's how I get my rocks off. I've always enjoyed it. I absolutely love it. I love trying to think ahead and trying to plan and get this person here to provide covering fire, and then if they try and push forward, then he's got a flanking shot from here, and like all that. I get seriously into it, and I absolutely adore it. So XCOM 2, like, I've pre-ordered it. I don't care about the whole no pre-orders thing. That is a safe pre-order for me. I know I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, look, I mean? From what I've seen, the actual setting and the story, it looks fascinating to me. The whole idea that you've got these alien greys that is attacking Earth, and you mobilizing all of these
thin men.
Yeah, you mobilizing all of these different countries, getting specialized troops in to combat these creatures. I love that. Just can't get behind the whole turn-based thing. If they actually went as far as turning that that whole concept into like an FPS or even real-time strategy, I would get completely behind it. But I just can't get behind the whole turn-based thing. I've never been a fan. I've always liked games like Command and Conquer, Age of Empires. I've even dabbled in remember Pharaoh and Cleopatra and that sort of stuff. That to me was far more interesting than turn-based stuff.
What about like the Total War series?
I've never tried it. The closest I ever got to Warhammer was 40k Space Marines. And
you need to pick up one of the Total War games, preferably Rome, either Rome or Shogun 2. And give them a shot. They are phenomenal. If you like games like Civilization builder games, they've got that whole element to a certain extent. They're obviously not as in depth as full-on, Civilization, etc.
Yeah.
Before it went into space and lost its fucking marbles. Don't know what happened with that one for Axis. Never mind. But so you've got that empire building section, but then you're moving your armies around on the map, and then when you actually go into combat, you go down and take control of all the units in a real-time strategic battle, and it's fucking incredible. Like, it's amazing. It's like, even to the point where when you ambush them, you'll get to set up on either side of the road that they're going to come marching along, and you can like set your people in the trees so they can't be seen, and then charge out on. Oh, dude, so much good.
And of course, there's quite a bit of competitive side to that as well on the multiplayer front.
Yeah, I've played quite a lot with my good friend Squantoon. Now, unfortunately, the co-op is only 2 players, so we kind of we'll form an alliance and then basically kick the shit out of the rest of the Mediterranean. But yeah, it can get pretty intense when you get into the multiplayer if you start attacking each other and if you do all that kind of thing. But yeah, what I'm really looking forward to is Total War Warhammer, so maybe hold off, and if you like Warhammer, pick that one up instead, mate, because that one looks incredible. If you haven't seen the videos, go check it out, and it looks like they have done an incredible job of merging an incredible games franchise with another with an incredible another game franchise. Absolutely. I mean, it looks so faithful. Absolutely, it's like some fucked up love child of Warhammer and Total War. So basically, it's war on one side, war on the other, and they met and they fucked, and then Warhammer Total War came out, and it's a beast. It looks so good.
Out of the Sun Cave.
It'll be, and it's the first one to feature flying units as well. So up until now, they have not been a thing in the game at all. But now you will have dragons, the goblin, what is it, Helldivers, or what are they called? I can't remember. They're like suicide sons of bitches on like hang glider kind of things that get launched from a giant catapult and just like plant into everyone and wipe people out. Oh, it looks great. Siege weapons. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited about a lot of games. I might even buy a PS4 this year, which will be weird.
Yeah, well, Pikey just got me one, as I'm sure I mentioned in the previous podcast. If not, I got a PS4. I must say, I don't know what it is, but it just looks the graphics looks way more gorgeous than what I'm used to on the Xbox One. I mean, I recently completed what was it, Until Dawn, as well as
that was that's that kind of one where you make choices and some people die, and that one with
every
with
single
the famous
decision
actors.
every single decision that you make in the game directly influences who lives and dies, and that puts a hell of a lot of pressure on you as a gamer, and it really immerses you in this whole horror element. It's kind of like your classic sort of Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees sort of scenario. Got a serial killer on the loose, and you've got that the whole suspense hanging in the air sort of thing. It's really brilliant, and I don't know if you've actually seen any of the trailers, but the motion.
I watched a whole Let's Play series of it.
Dude, the motion capture in that game is so realistic. They've actually gone and they've motion captured the actors, and the characters look exactly like them to the T. And the facial expressions, the body movements and everything, it's them. Look, yes, you can clearly see it's a video game and it's computer-generated graphics, but
I saw it on YouTube and I was like, wow. I mean, it's got what's it? Save the chili to save the day or save the world.
Yeah, Aiden Panettiere, Brett Dalton. Some of you,
I know the guy. I know
he
the one
is
guy.
in Agents of Shield.
I don't watch that show.
Grant Ward. Dude, I love it. I love everything Marvel.
Look, I thought I would. I started watching it, I was just like, you're all lame.
Dude, it picks up. It's really one of those shows that...
But I also hate Green Arrow and The Flash, so maybe I'm just a heathen. Apparently there's a fucking plane trying to land on my house.
Let's just let it pass.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, if you can hear it on your side. Can you hear the plane?
I can hear the plane. Leave it in the podcast.
Damn.
It's cool.
Yeah, so what an amazing... Yeah, like, hey guys, look. That was fucking some crazy-ass pilot. Anyway, so sorry, you were saying. So, they're in it. Hayden Panettiere, or whatever her name is.
Hayden Panettiere.
And you can see it's her.
And now we know why she wasn't in Heroes Reborn, and now we know why Heroes Reborn failed so dismally, because they failed to save the cheerleader and the world's fucked out.
There you go. That's what happens, man. You don't save the cheerleader, you don't save the world.
Exactly.
End of story. Man, you know what? Heroes was a sad series. It started. First season was. It could have been so good, and then it just went mental.
The first season to me was like at the epitome of television production quality. It was literally one of the best shows that I've ever seen in my entire life. I started watching it. I couldn't stop watching it. It was literally the very first series DVD that I ever bought. The first season of Heroes, and then I don't know what the fuck the showrunners did, but they just completely fucked it up from season.
They had that chick whose eyes went all fucked up and she bled like she cried tears of oil or some shit, and everyone near her died, or I don't know. That was when I just lost interest.
And dude, like, I have to say, Siler, what's his name, Zachary Quinto, one of the best villains in television history.
But he was good.
If they brought him back for Heroes Reborn, then that's another way that they could have actually survived.
Oh, I tell you what. Talking about bad guys, Walking Dead fans have got something to look forward to. So Negan is coming, and he is being played by the man himself, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who has literally never been in anything bad except for Grey's Anatomy.
We won't talk about that.
No, we forgive him for that one. Oh man! And now, if you thought that, what was his name? The other guy, the counselor guy. Shit, what was his name? The dude with the eye patch who got Michonne stabbed him in the eye.
The governor.
The governor. That was it. The governor. I'll go to the chopper. If you thought he was a piece of work, you have not seen anything yet.
And apparently, Negan's weapon of choice is a baseball bat. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that dynamic between those two characters.
He's a
Negan and his
psycho.
baseball bat. Yeah, that guy's a fucking lunatic.
He's a proper head case. He's gonna, like, I'm expecting to see a lot of primary characters get dropped by Negan. Like, I'm expecting to see a lot of deaths in this next season of The Walking Dead.
Well, it's the second
good.
half of the current
season.
season.
Of course, I suppose, yeah, it's just a break.
They've just announced, I think it's it's February 18 that it's coming back.
Oh,
yes.
It's not long.
Yeah,
Not long.
but dude, don't spoil anything for me. I'm literally just past that episode with Captain
Broomstick.
Captain Broomstick.
Fuck that guy.
I'm yet to.
I tell you what, he's one. If Negan kills him, I'll be happy.
Look, dude, I've got to say I like him. He's a likable character. Yes, he's got a couple of character flaws, like who the fuck doesn't use a gun in the zombie apocalypse?
Who the fuck hits things in the head with a fucking broomstick handle?
Dude, he's good. He's very good with that broomstick. So
I don't know. It just annoyed me that he suddenly turned into a ninja. Like, he went from this believable. See, I like an everyman. That's what I like in mine. Like Rick Grimes.
Got it clear. That was a little bit annoying to me.
Yeah, Rick Grimes, to me, the reason why I like him is because he's a believable character. He's not a superhero. He does make... See, I've always loved an anti-hero as well. Like, I hate... Like, that's why I hate Superman.
Yeah.
It's just too much... People aren't like that. Bullshit. I want a guy who's... you don't suddenly learn to be a fucking ninja in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, for God's sake.
Well, this is why I like Batman, because he's actually a believable character. His superpower is his money, and yes, it's true.
Rich. Dude, don't say that. Donald Trump will get ideas.
No, I expressly forbid you to discuss politics on the.
Listen, we're not talking about that. This isn't politics, buddy. This is just straight up him being a rich bastard who's completely mental.
But I can guarantee you that if he becomes president, he's going to devalue the dollar so fast that he'll be poor in no time.
Hey, it could be good for us then.
Yeah.
Could help. Anyway, so Negan's coming. That's going to be phenomenal. One of my favourite ever, in fact, probably my absolute favourite comic book character of all time is finally getting the movie that he deserves, and it's coming out soon. Obviously, I'm speaking about Deadpool. Skull Poo L, as he can also be called. Yes. Did you see that? Did you see that billboard?
Yeah, the billboard. Brilliant.
Oh, so good.
But I want to divert your attention to something that is just developed in the last couple of days, which I'm kind of in two minds about. And some fan actually made a nice little a meme about it that expresses my feelings quite well. It's the fact that some mother or an aunt or something has actually gone and created a petition asking Fox to create a PG-13 cut of the movie. So in other words...
You know what that person is? That's not a mother, that's a motherfucker.
Exactly, and I mean...
It needs to be
meme, the meme, and I'm gonna send it to you so you can include it in the article. It actually says, real fans of Deadpool want an R18 version. People who want PG-13 Deadpool are not fans. They should just fuck right off.
Absolutely. Now look, I can understand up to a point. Part of me starts to think that's not a bad idea, because then it means I can include my son in it. Yeah. Because my son's 8, and he knows I love Deadpool, and he'd love to come and watch it with me.
Yes.
But that would not be Deadpool. I would rather he waits until he's old enough and watches a proper movie. Now, if you gave it two types, if you had a complete, but I mean, come on, let's be honest, what's the chance of having a completely separate cut? Do you know how much that's going to cost? The studio will never go for it. But that would be an acceptable thing for me, because then I can go and watch the R-rated version, and then I can take my kid to go and watch the other one.
Yeah, but
although I'd probably do it around the other way.
You got to think about this for a second. Deadpool is a vulgar fuck.
Yeah, no,
and if you take away his jokes, if you take away his sexual
absolutely
energy, then what do you have? You've got a watered down X-Men. And I'm sorry to say, Wolverine. Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, I love X-Men. I love every single movie that they've brought out so far. I can't wait for Apocalypse, but that is PG-13 heaven. Deadpool is not that.
No, it's not. No, it's not supposed to be. That's like saying, "Oh, like you. I want my son to also enjoy porn. Could you make one without all the sex?" Well, no, because then it wouldn't be porn. If you do make this version, it won't be. But like I was saying, I would rather my son wait and watches a proper movie,
and then he will really be able to appreciate.
Then he's watching Deadpool. Then he's not watching, Cup of Water.
I'm pretty sure that Deadpool will age like a fine wine.
Oh man, if they do it right, and it looks like they have, just from everything I've seen.
Yeah.
I'd love it so much. I rewatched the trailers today.
Yeah,
I watched the trailers again
early
today.
reviews
I'm
are
so
in,
tired.
and it's doing quite well. So I
can imagine it is. I was rewatching the trailers today, and there's one bit which I'd missed. And I don't know how I missed it, when he drops into the car and he hits a couple of people, and then there's the guy in the... Wait, hang on, it's in America, so the driver's on the left. So it's the passenger, the right-hand front passenger. He goes forward, but with his shitty little drawing that he'd done of himself shooting the bad guy in the face and him going ouchie, and he pops it up in front of his face, like, "Have you seen this man?" And then the guy punches him, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like I'd missed it completely. It's I'm touching myself right now.
I don't know if you know this, but that scene was actually it was part of the leaked footage that actually got the ball rolling on reviving the Deadpool movie.
I remember seeing it, and as the car's flipping, there's a guy with a gun waiting, and and as the car flips, he's sat in it pointing to the picture of him shooting the other guy in the head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. It's going to be so good.
So brilliant.
February the 12th.
February the 12th, 2 days before Valentine's Day. I'm going to love the living shit out of that movie.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm also excited. Okay, so it's Deadpool. We've got another big guy coming up, though.
End of January.
Hateful
Eight.
Oh my god.
And despite the script leak, I think it was back in 2013, 2014, the producers and everyone convinced Mr. Tarantino to go ahead with the movie, and apparently it is fucking amazing. So I myself am a huge Tarantino fan. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them twice, if not more. And I'd gladly watch them all again. And his last movie was absolutely brilliant. I think the last one was Inglourious Basterds. No, Django
after. Yep, and then
before that was Inglorious.
And then you had, what was the other ones? It was the Death Car thing and Grindhouse. But that was kind of that was a Rodriguez Tarantino weird kind of clash. I don't know what Tarantino's role. He may have only just produced them or something, but I know he was involved.
But dude, some of my favorite Tarantino Rodriguez corroborations. I remember From Dusk Till Dawn.
You could forget From Dusk Till Dawn, man.
That was fucking brilliant. I loved every second of it. It starts out like your average crime thriller, and then it just goes off the rails completely. Like you've got
and for once, George Clooney not being a complete pussy. I was like, yay.
And Tarantino himself playing in the movie and getting himself shot in the fucking hand.
Yep,
absolutely. That was brilliant.
There was so much good stuff. Oh god, yeah. So Hateful Eight. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. A lot. Although, and having said that though, I have to talk about it. Netflix is here in South Africa officially, working without having to use a VPN. Not the full US catalog though, sadly.
But we all know why. Licensing issues.
Yeah, there always are. And look, Showmax are putting on a good fight at the moment. Like if you follow the Showmax account on Twitter, you'll see they are adding movies and series left, right, and centre.
You see, the thing is with Showmax,
don't know if they'll keep up.
I think they kind of saw Netflix coming.
Well, of course, and they went, "Oh shit, we need to do something to it now."
Yeah, I mean, they not only came in at a cheaper rate than Netflix ultimately came through, but also at the same time their catalogue is bigger. But that's because of licensing rights.
Yeah,
they've got more licenses to show stuff locally.
Yeah, their catalogue may well be bigger, but quite a lot of it is local content.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest,
I don't really want to watch you go.
It's shit. I'm sorry, South African film and TV makers. I don't know why it is. It's just bad.
Yeah, seriously, I don't want to watch Plataland and other shit like that. If I wanted to watch that,
and no.
I mean,
The only thing
to
I've
each his
ever
own.
actually
To
watched-
each his
yeah,
own.
No, absolutely, no, absolutely. But I think majority of people are going to go Netflix.
Mm. But listen,
To be honest.
getting off of all of this, I have to
Yeah.
mention, some of our readers and listeners have no doubt noticed, we've recently acquired a new writer on the team. He's known
Yes.
as Bipolar Bear. Otherwise known as
I've got to be honest. The first time I saw his name, I was consumed in a jealous rage.
Why?
Bipolar Bear is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. It's
I love
almost
it.
as good as Pikey or NiteFenix.
Nearly. Whoa, I won't go that far. No, I love it. I think it's a freak.
But honestly, I'm very glad to welcome Bipolar Bear to the team. He actually comes from us from the recently closed down eGamer. May they always be remembered. Very, very decent South African website while they lasted. Ball will actually be bringing to the fold esports coverage. Bit of Nintendo if we can get them properly on board, because we're still battling a bit, guys. And then of course he's a massive fan of Japanese games, so he's going to be providing some excellent coverage on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So basically, prepare yourself for lots of tentacle games. No, wait, not that kind of game.
Yeah.
Wait, we spoke about this earlier. You told me it was or it wasn't that kind of game. Because I know which one I'm on board for.
It's not that type of game.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Do you know what? I actually learned an interesting fact. Do you know why tentacles became a thing in hentai?
No.
Because they were not allowed to draw a penis.
Oh.
And
Well, I
tentacle
suppose
was the closest thing that they could get. They could have it on the screen. It's phallic in shape, and it would not have to be pixelated. And that's why it became such a thing.
I suppose it's functional.
Yeah. Oh no! You just reminded me of something with the octopus. I'm not going into it. Doesn't matter. I'm not actually going into it. There's a horrible thing.
But moving swiftly on.
Anyway, yes. So, but welcome to Bipolar Bear. Before we got distracted by hentai.
welcome Bipolar Bear to Team Geeknode. We hope
Absolutely.
you have a very nice time here, and we actually hope to have you on the podcast soon, so we can properly make fun of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that will be Pikey and whoever is in rotation that week's job.
That's right. So so there are going to be some changes. So essentially, I have been handed the keys to the kingdom. In that I am now the sole official host of the Geeknode Podcast. Lauren, Harlequinn, and Mr. Werner Desolation Morris will be joining me, but they will be rotating on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, so expect more Pikey-Pikiness.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I'm changing the music, but you'll have heard that already, because I didn't like it.
Yeah. Sorry, Zakharov, we still love you.
I love Zakharov, and I always will,
Yeah.
but I don't love that music, so I'm changing it.
Yeah.
Executive decision.
Yeah, executive
Anyway,
decision.
there we go.
No
So,
overruling from this side. In other great news, we've actually made some tremendous strides since the beginning of the year, which sounds so long ago, but isn't really. We've actually signed up Blowfish Entertainment, so expect some coverage on some of their products. As some of you may or may not know, Blowfish is responsible for Magic the Gathering in South Africa, as well as Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, which is one of Pikey's fetishes.
Absolutely. Yeah, recent one as well.
Yeah, he's been...
I've already spent a stupid amount of money on Pokemon cards, like it's literally ridiculous. I've got 4 of these big card boxes that I bought, and they're all full of spares. Like, it's crazy.
And then, of course, also still in the board game spectrum, we have Board Game South Africa on board. So we've got the Holy Trinity. We've got Sky Castle, Board Games SA, and Blowfish Entertainment on board. And Yeah. And expect the first reviews coming soon from Board Games SA. I have it on authority that Pyro is already busy reviewing the very first game as we speak. So that should be coming
Fantastic.
up on the website within the next week or two.
Also, I've been informed that I have to apologise to listeners and readers on behalf of Geeknode for the recent problems with our website's vagina.
No. I said pagination, not vagination. No, we have a little bit of an issue on the website at the moment whereby you can't page back, but we've actually extended the length of the amount of articles that are displayed, so you will still be able to see all the newest articles and everything. We will of course be sorting that out in due course. As we are a small operation and we've only got so many people working on the website, we are slowly but surely working through the stuff. So much apologies for that, for the vagination issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we will be resuming proper operations within the next week or so.
Good news.
Yeah.
Right, I think that probably just about covers everything. So, any last thoughts from your side, Mr. Bester, sir?
Well, just that we are growing day by day, and obviously we are gaining new writers, and we are expanding on the website, making sure that we have fresh content for you guys out there. And we hope you are happy with the content that we have been delivering. I do encourage everybody to interact with us more. We don't bite. Well, I don't. I don't know about Pikey.
I will, but you have to pay extra.
Who said anything about paying?
I don't do that shit for free. Like, how do you think I make my money, bro? These games don't pay for themselves.
Exactly. But do keep an eye on Geeknode. Within the next couple of weeks, there will be a lot of new content going up, new types of content. Obviously, you'll see more esports articles going up, more board games content, and hopefully soon more indie content. Anything
Lovely.
else from your side you want to add, Pikey?
Not at all. I'm about ready to go jump in the pool quickly and cool myself down before I flop majestically onto my bed and lie under a fan, writhing in pleasure at the coolness of the evaporating water.
Sounds absolutely stunning.
I might play a bit of Elite Dangerous first, though.
Yeah, I must say Pixie's been like completely immersed in that whole thing. She finally bought that ship that she said that she was going to buy.
Cobra Mark III.
Yes, and
It's a good one to get started. Good one to start your cargo career into it. Once she gets up to the ASP, and I've just picked up a Python myself, one of the big boys. Start to make some serious money smuggling slaves in and out of the empire. You know, as you do. What? The English don't have a history of slavery. We've never done that. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But that's it from my side. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was great being back on the podcast in 2016.53 to 1000.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Thanks a lot for coming to chat shit with me for the evening. We're going to kill it off there, and I'd just like to echo Mr. Bester's sentiments. Please do throw a comment up. Thank you very much for your responses that we have had. I hope that the articles have proved informative and interesting, and to a certain extent entertaining as well, seeing as majority of my stuff doesn't contain that much information, just me talking shit. So yes, thank you, and take care of yourselves until next week. Bye bye.